Midlife crisis in men and women, the differences, unveiled career doubts, and the fear of one of the most profound challenges that men in midlife experience in America revolves around their careers. Men have long been conditioned to measure their worth by their professional achievements. The American dream has often been defined by job success, financial stability, and upward mobility. But what happens when the dream feels incomplete or unattainable? What happens when a man realizes that he has reached the top only to find that the view isn't as fulfilling as he once imagined? For many men, midlife triggers a re-evaluation of their professional path. Suddenly, the career they've dedicated decades to feels hollow. The pursuit of promotions, raises, and titles seems to have lost its luster. The frustration of being stuck in a routine that no longer brings fulfillment weighs heavily. What's worse, men often feel ashamed of expressing these doubts. In a society that encourages strength, control, and independence, admitting a crisis feels like weakness. But beneath the surface, many men experience fear of being left behind in a rapidly changing world. The workplace, especially in industries like technology, is evolving faster than many can keep up with. Younger, tech-savvy workers seem to have the edge. In this competitive environment, it's no surprise that midlife men often feel threatened by the younger generation entering the workforce, leaving them questioning their relevance. It's not just about the job itself. For many men, career struggles are linked to their identities. A man's self-worth is often tied to his success in the workplace, and a crisis in this area can feel like an existential crisis. If he's not a successful professional, what is he? What has he contributed? These questions often arise with no clear answers. Physical and psychological changes. The physical changes that men undergo during midlife are often subtle but significant. Weight gain, decreased energy levels, muscle loss, and the gradual signs of aging can contribute to feelings of inadequacy. As men enter their 40s and 50s, they often begin to notice that their body no longer responds the way it once did. The younger, stronger, more energetic man fades into a version of himself that feels less capable. Psychologically, these physical changes bring a deeper awareness of aging. For some men, this awareness triggers anxiety, depression, and frustration. This is especially true for those who have based their self-image on their physical prowess, athletic abilities, or general vitality. The fear of losing one's youthful energy or good health can result in a sense of loss both physically and emotionally. The psychological toll of these changes is not always talked about, but it plays a critical role in the midlife crisis. Seeking youth, a desire for perhaps the most publicized aspect of the male midlife crisis, is the attempt to reclaim youth. This often manifests in stereotypical ways. Buying sports cars, dating younger women, or seeking out extreme experiences in an effort to regain the vigor and vitality of youth. These attempts to feel young again are not just about the physical appearance or external validation. Rather, they are a desperate effort to regain a sense of control, to feel powerful and relevant once again. Men experiencing a midlife crisis often find themselves revisiting old hobbies, reconnecting with youthful passions, or taking up new, challenging activities that they hope will rekindle their lost energy. The search for vitality and relevance becomes a pursuit of a deeper sense of meaning and identity. In America, where success is often defined by one's ability to conquer life, the fear of becoming irrelevant can be debilitating. Men feel the weight of this pressure, especially as they face an aging population and the cultural emphasis on youth. The relentless pursuit of youth becomes an way to deny the inevitability of aging and to reclaim the power they feel they've lost. Relationships, shifting dynamics, and the quest for meaning. Midlife is a time when many men begin to question their relationships. The pressures of work, family, and societal expectations often push men to neglect their emotional lives. As they approach midlife, they may begin to wonder whether their marriages, partnerships, and friendships have been fulfilling. Many men struggle with expressing their emotions or connecting deeply with their partners, leading to dissatisfaction. In American culture, men are often taught to suppress their feelings and remain stoic in the face of challenges. This can lead to a lack of emotional intimacy in relationships, creating a sense of distance between them and their partners. The realization that their relationships may not be as emotionally fulfilling as they hoped can cause men to feel uncertain and disconnected. In some cases, men in midlife seek fulfillment outside their primary relationships. Affairs or short-term flings are often linked to the desire to reignite a sense of vitality or reclaim a sense of emotional connection that is missing in their primary relationships. This quest for emotional and physical fulfillment, although sometimes fleeting, is an attempt to find meaning in a world that feels increasingly uncertain. The midlife crisis in women, the awakening, the empty nest syndrome, and the rebirth of identity. For women, the midlife crisis often takes a different form. As children leave home, many mothers face what is known as the empty nest syndrome, a phenomenon where women experience feelings of loneliness and loss after their children grow up and leave the family home. This period can be emotionally challenging, as it marks the end of one chapter in a woman's life and the beginning of another. The house feels quieter, and the focus shifts from the needs of children to the transition from mom to a new version of oneself can be both liberating and overwhelming. For many women, the midlife crisis is less about the fear of aging and more about realization that they have neglected their own identity in the pursuit of raising children and managing a family. The empty nest syndrome prompts a re-evaluation of what life means. When the roles they've played for decades begin to change, this is often the time when women begin to rediscover passions and hobbies they abandoned years ago. For some, it's a return to an education they put off, while for others, it's an exploration of new career opportunities or self-care routines. This awakening can be a deeply fulfilling time, where women begin to prioritize themselves again and redefine their sense of purpose beyond motherhood. This excerpt covers important aspects of the midlife crisis in both men and women, and continues to dive deeper into the psychological and emotional differences between the two genders. The complete 15,000 words would further explore these themes, incorporating real-life case studies, research, and expert opinions, as well as providing practical strategies for overcoming midlife crises in both men and women.